Your marriage is hanging by a thread. You're terrified of losing everything. But when you sit there panicking and worrying, you're not doing anything to save it. If you're ready to fight for your marriage and rebuild what feels broken, keep watching. The first thing you need to do is you need to figure out what got you here, because you can't fix what you don't understand. Your marriage did not fall apart overnight. It's been breaking down because certain emotional needs were not being met, and no one said anything clearly enough, or no one listened when it was said. We all want to feel valued, appreciated, validated, and supported. But maybe instead you started feeling small in your relationship, like you did not matter, or that you were being criticized all the time. Or maybe your partner felt that way and they didn't know how to bring this up to you. So they started pulling away or shutting down emotionally to protect themselves. This week, as an experiment, I want you to take a look at your recent fights or moments when you felt disconnected from your partner, and write down what you were feeling in those moments. Maybe even before the fight starts, how were you feeling? What were the emotions that brought about those fights? Were you feeling unimportant, unsupported, dismissed? Every fight starts with an emotion, an unmet need. Maybe the fight was about being alone or feeling dismissed or being told you're not good enough, because when you get the right diagnosis of your feelings and your partner's feelings, when you can truly understand what's been missing, then you can start addressing it directly. You also need to understand your cycle of fighting. Every couple has a fighting cycle or a pattern. You push, they withdraw. You criticize, they get defensive. Or maybe you just both shut down and sit in silence. I want you to look at your partner's unmet emotional needs first. That's right, not yours, theirs. Because you can always identify your own. But when you're trying to rebuild your relationship and your marriage, someone needs to start leading with empathy. And if you're watching this video, that person is probably you. Ask yourself honestly, what was my partner needing from me that I didn't give them? Maybe it was affection. Maybe it was appreciation. Maybe it was feeling secure. Or it was just someone seeing them and seeing how tired they've been. And if you start meeting that need now, even a little bit, it can start to shift your dynamic in the marriage. I have a whole series on how you can stop fighting in your relationship. You can click on the screen now to watch that series. I think that will be really helpful if you're on a brink of a divorce and you want to stop the fighting right away. So if you're not ready to give up, tap the like button. That tells me you're still someone who's willing to fight for this. Next, I want you to have the difficult conversation you've been avoiding until now. That part's not easy, I won't lie, but you have to talk. You have to sit down and ask your partner, what's been missing for you in this relationship? What have you been needing that you haven't been getting in our relationship from me? And when they answer, you promise that you won't get defensive. Don't start to explain and justify the things you did to hurt them like that. Just listen and try to understand what they're actually telling you about their needs that's not being met. Because in this conversation, they're going to give you the clues about their unmet needs. And your job is to understand what's been the unmet emotional need. Yes, you might feel blamed or misunderstood, but I want you to listen for the emotions beneath the words they're using. If they say, you never supported me, that's not the time to list all the things you did right or ways you supported them. That means you are on the defense, and that's going to make them feel unheard yet again. When someone says, you never supported me, means I've been missing your support. But for them, it's just mixed with this anger, and what you hear is the criticism. But I really want you to reframe, because if you reframe this in your mind, it helps you respond in a more gentle, supportive manner to your partner and actually be able to repair. So instead, say something like, I'm really sorry I made you feel alone in the relationship. I'm really starting to understand how my behavior affected you and how you felt lonely all this time. Like I didn't have your back. So that's what you're trying to understand. They're feeling, because that's what they've been sitting with. And that's what needs to be repaired. You giving them what they emotionally crave and have been missing. If you watch this far, it means you really care. You want to do something, but maybe you don't know where to start. That's why I've created a free relationship test that I always use with the new couples that I see in my practice. And every one of them, when they fill out this test, it gives them a great overview of the relationship and what they need to work on. This test will tell you what your relationship needs the most right now and what you personally need to work on to turn things around. It takes 3 minutes to complete, and you'll walk away knowing what emotional needs are missing, how deep the disconnection is, and where to begin rebuilding. Click the link in the description below the video and take it. This will give you the clarity you've been needing. Next, I want you to compartmentalize all the heavy, bad moments, all the fights, and start to create good moments together. Yes, you've had fights. Maybe they've gone unresolved. But if that's all your relationship is right now, just tension and silence, it's going to drain both of you. So I want you to do something this week that brings a little light back into the picture. Not to ignore the problems, but to remind each other what's still there. Here's what that could look like this week. Leave a kind note somewhere unexpected. Watch something together that used to make you laugh. Go for a walk together without talking about something serious. Just be beside each other again. These little things matter. They create hope. And when you're running on empty, even the smallest bit of connection can shift the energy. If you're willing to be the one who does that, just one small thing this week, tap the like button. Let that be your first step. What you can do next is suggest therapy to your partner, but not as a threat. If you're both stuck, therapy helps. I see it every day in my practice. Couples make these deep transformations. Not because the therapist has a magic wand, but because it gives you a space where the emotional clutter gets sorted out. But if your partner's resistant, don't make it sound like you're telling them you need help. Say this instead. I don't want us to keep going like this. I think we need someone to help us understand what's really going on. Even one session of therapy can help you figure out if your partner has emotionally checked out or if there's something still to fight for. And then you can have a roadmap to fix your relationship. And if your partner agrees to go, let the therapist carry some of the emotional weight so that you don't have to do all of this alone. And that's what makes therapy work. Then I want to tell you, please don't sit in entitlement if you want to fix your marriage. You need to start empathizing with your partner if you want this to work. There's no other way. This isn't about who's right or who's done more work on themselves and who's more self-aware. If you're watching this, chances are you're probably more invested in saving this relationship. And that's not a weakness. That is leadership. It means you care enough and know better to step in first. You can still have your feelings. You can still set boundaries, but someone has to lower their guard. And if you want to break the cycle and really fix this, let that be you. Your turn will come. Please let others support you. Don't isolate. This is a very hard and heavy time. Don't try to carry it all alone. Talk to someone who knows both of you and wants the best for your relationship. A sibling, a friend, even a mentor, someone your partner trusts. Sometimes when someone else speaks hope into your relationship, it lands in a way your voice can't. So maybe have them talk to your partner. Of course, it won't fix everything, but it might push them just enough to start showing up again. And please don't pull in other people while you're still in this marriage. This one really matters. If there is still a small part of you that thinks this relationship might still work, do not start dating or emotionally investing in anyone else. That will shut down any chance of a real repair. You can't work on rebuilding while starting something else on the side. That only adds more confusion, more pain, and less hope for reconciliation. Knowing how to save your marriage is one thing. What if your partner isn't on the same page? You're here because you care. Even if it feels like you're fighting alone, truth is it's still possible to fix your marriage and prevent divorce. Even if it feels like you're the only one trying. And I'm showing you exactly how to do that in the video on your screen now.